In this video, we will solve O-Level Mathematics Paper 1, Variant 2 for May-June 2019. So let's start with question number 1. Evaluate 4 by 7 divided by 5 over 8. So I can change this division sign to multiplication and then I'll take the reciprocal of this fraction. So this becomes 4 by 7 multiplied by 8 over 5. And then 8 times 4 is 32 and 7 times 5 is 35. So this will be 32 over 35. Part B is evaluate under root 64 minus cube root of 125. So square root of 64, if you do not know, you can calculate it as well. So you have to find the prime factors of 64. So it's divisible by 2, so this becomes equals to 32. And then it's again divisible by 2, you get 16. Again, you can divide by 2, 8. Divide by 2, 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 again, and then 2 again. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 64 can be written as 2 power 6. And then square root you know is 1 over 2. So if I bring this 1 over 2 in, this becomes equals to 2 power cube. This 2 times 1 and then 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this is 8. So your square root of 64 is 8. And then similarly for 125 you have to find the cube root. So you will again write it in terms of its prime factors. So this is 5 2s are 10, 5 25, then 5 times 5 is 25, and then 5 times 1 is 5. So 125 cube root of 125 can be written as 5 cube, and then cube root is power 1 over 3. So when I bring this power in, 3 over 3 becomes 1, so this equals to 5. So your cube root of 125 is 5. So cube root of 64 minus, square root of 64 minus cube root of 125 is actually 8 minus 5, which is equals to 3. So your answer is 3. So question number 2 is use a straight edge and compass only in this question. So construct the locus of points inside quadrilateral ABCD that are equidistant from line AB and line BC. So you have to find the locus inside the quadrilateral. So locus of points that are equidistant from these two lines, lines AB and BC. So that means you have to draw the angle bisector where these lines intersect. So they intersect at this point B. So you have to draw the angle bisector of angle ABC. So I'll use my compass here to draw the angle bisector. So first I will place it at this center O, and then you can open it up to any reasonable length, and then you have to draw an arc from one of the lines, which is AB, and the other line BC, which make up the angle ABC. So I'll draw an arc from this point until this line here, and then without changing the length of the compass, place it at the 2 points where this arc intersects the 2 lines. So at this point and at this point. So I'll first place it at this point where the arc intersects the line BC, and uh, then I will basically draw another arc here like this, and now I will place it on the other point where the arc intersects the line AB, and then draw another arc like this. So now if I connect to point B with this point, I will get the angle bisector of angle ABC. So let me actually make this bigger so that my line covers the full quadrilateral ABCD. So let me first align the ruler with the 2 points, and then since you have to draw within the quadrilateral, so my line will start at this point and go up till this point where it intersects the line AD. So I don't have to draw outside the quadrilateral ABC as it's mentioned in the question. So start from here, pass through this point here that I have marked through my arcs. So this will be your angle bisector for angle ABC. So locus, so the points on this line are equidistant from both the lines AB and BC, and they are also in the locus is also inside the quadrilateral ABCD. Question 3 is the height of water in centimeter in a river is recorded every week for 10 weeks. The heights of the water compared with its normal level are listed below. So you have heights of water for each of the 10 weeks in given here in centimeters. So you have to work out the range. So range is basically the difference between the largest and the smallest value. So range will be equal to largest minus the smallest. So what's the largest value here? So the largest value here is this here, 40. So this will be 40 minus, what is the smallest value here? The smallest value here is minus 45. So 40 minus minus 45. So this will be 40 plus 45 equals to 85. So the range is 85 centimeter. Calculate the mean. So mean is basically you will sum up all these values and divide by 10 because the total number of values is 10. You have 10 values here. So when you add them, you will get minus 45, minus 30, minus 35, plus 0, plus 5, minus 10, minus 20, plus 40, plus 20, plus 25, and then divided by 10. So minus 45 minus 30 is minus 75. Minus 75 minus 35 would be minus 110. Minus 105 minus 105 minus 10 will be minus 15. Minus 15 minus 115. Minus 115 minus 20 will be minus 135. So this is minus 135 plus 40 plus 20, 60. 85 plus 85 divided by 10. So this is actually uh, minus 135 plus 85 will be, so minus 5, 80, 30 plus 20, 50. So this will be minus 50 over 10, which is equals to minus 5. So your mean value is minus 5 centimeters. Question 4 is by writing each number correct to one significant figure, estimate the value of this. So to first we need to write this expression correct to one significant figure. So if we look at 71.8, this is the first 7 is the first non-zero value. So this will be my first significant figure. Then I'll make the rest of them 0 since this next value is 1, which is less than 5. So my 7 will, I will basically round this value down to 70. Minus, again 3 is the first significant figure, the next value 2 is less than 5, so this will be rounded down to 30. Here my first significant figure is this is the first non-zero value, which is 1, and the next value is 9. So then I will round up this one to 2, so this becomes equals to 0.2 squared. So this is 70 minus 30 is 40 divided by 0.2 squared. 0.2 squared would be 0.04, 0.04, and then I can basically multiply it by 100 in the denominator as well as in the numerator just to get rid of this decimal. So this becomes 4000 divided by 4. So this is equals to 1000. Question number 5 is lamps are made in a factory. A random sample of 50 of the lamps is tested and 4 of them are found to be faulty. A total of 4000 lamps is made in one day. Calculate the number of these 4000 lamps you would expect to be faulty. So from 50 lamps tested, 4 of them are faulty. So what's the fraction? So it is 4 by 50. So 4 by 50 of lamps are faulty. So this is the fraction of lamps that will be faulty. So now to calculate the faulty lamps out of 4000, so you will basically 40, one second, 40 lamps out of 4,000 will be equal to the fraction, which is 4 by 50 multiplied by 4,000. So 4 by 50 multiplied by 4,000. So you can cancel out the zeros, and then 400 times 4 is 1600 divided by 5, which is 5 threes are 15, 1 carry becomes 10, 5 twos are 10, 320. So your answer is 320. So 320 lamps out of 4,000 will be faulty, which is, if you do the fraction 320 divided by 4,000, it's the same fraction as 4 by 50. So you got the fractional value from this information given, and then you can calculate out of 4,000. Question number 6 is Daniel earns $760 each month. He pays 15% of his earnings in tax. Calculate the amount of money Daniel has each month after paying tax. So first you have to calculate what's the dollar value of tax. So the tax is 15%, that becomes 15 over 100 into 760. So you can cancel out the zeros, and then I can also simplify here. 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 2 is 10. So this is 76 into 3 divided by 2. If I do this multiplication, 76 times 3 is 6 threes are 18, 1 carry, 7 threes are 21, 228 divided by 2, which is 114. So this is your tax. So money left after tax. So he earned 760, and then he paid 114 in tax. So 760 minus 114 will be 760, 660, 650, and then 646. 646. So $646. Part B is Daniel invests $1,200 in a savings account. The account pays simple interest at a rate of 2% per year. Calculate the amount of money in the account after 6 years. So the amount of money after 6 years will be, so money after 6 years will be the initial deposit with initial investment, which is 1,200, plus interest gained in 6 years. So now you have to calculate the interest gained in 6 years, and if you add it to 1,200, that will be the amount of money in the account after 6 years. So let's calculate the interest. You know that interest is PRT over 100, where P is the principal amount or the initial investment. This is 1,200. Your rate is 2%, and then time is 6 years over 100. So this will be 6. So I can cancel out these zeros here. So 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 times 12 is 144. So now you can substitute the value here. So your money after 6 years is 1,200 plus 144, which is equals to $1,344. So $1,344. Question 7 is find the fraction that lies exactly halfway between 3 by 5 and 3 by 4. So to find the mid value, you can add the two fractions and then divide by 2. So it's similar to, if you want to find the middle value between 1 and 3, you do 1 plus 3 divided by 2, which is 2. So 2 is the middle value between 1 and 3. So to find the middle value, you will add these fractions 3 by 5. So mid value would be equals to 3 by 5 plus 3 by 4, and then whole divided by 2. So since 5 and 4 do not have any common factors, so the LCM will be 20 here. 5 times 4 is 20. So since I multiplied by 4 in the denominator here, I'll multiply this 3 by 4. So this becomes 3 multiplied by 4, plus I multiplied by 5 in this denominator, so here I'll multiply by 5 as well. So this becomes 3 times 5. And then I can change this division sign into multiplication and take the reciprocal, so 1 by 2. So 12 plus 15 divided by 20 into 1 by 2, and 15 plus 12 would be 27 by 20 into 1 by 2, and then this becomes equals to 27 over 40. So your answer here is 27/40. Question 8 is, a drink is made by mixing fruit juice and water in the ratio 3:5. The drink is made using 2 liters of water. Calculate the amount of fruit juice used. Give your answer in milliliters. So we can use the ratio method here. So you have parts, ratio, milliliters. So you're given that the water is ratio 5 here. So if there are 8 total parts, 5 plus 3 is 8. 5 out of these parts are of water, which equates to 2 liters or 2000 milliliter. Remember, you have to give your answer in milliliters. So I'll convert this 2 liters into milliliters. So 5 parts is how many milliliters? 2000. And then you have to find the amount of fruit juice used. We know that fruit juice is 3 parts of the drink, and let's call the value in milliliter X that we have to find. And now we know that these are directly proportional, because more the number of parts in the ratio, obviously you will have more of that liquid in the drink. So water is 5 parts, which is 2000 ml. And then if your fruit juice is 3 parts, it will be something less than 2000 ml. So since these are directly proportional, I can basically just cross multiply like this to form my equation. So this will be 5x equals to 2000 times 3. So now your x will be 2000 times 3 divided by 5. I can cancel 5. 5 fours are 20. So 400 times 3 is 1200. So your value of x, which is basically the uh, amount of fruit juice used in milliliters, is 1200 ml. So 1200. Question number 9 is, a car starts a journey from rest. It moves with constant acceleration for 20 seconds until it reaches a speed of 15 meter per second. It then moves at a constant speed of 15 meter per second for 40 seconds. On the grid, draw the speed time graph for the car's journey. So it starts from rest. That means your graph will start time t0. Your speed is 0 because it's starting from rest. So this will be your starting point here at 0, 0. And then it moves with constant acceleration for 20 seconds until it reaches a speed of 15 meter per second. So for 20 seconds, it accelerates until it reaches 15. So this is your 15 here. And it reaches the speed after 20 seconds. So this will be your second point on the graph. Because after 20 seconds, your speed is 15 meters per second. And then it moves at a constant speed of 15 meters per second for 40 seconds. So after this, it moves at this same speed of 15 for another 40 seconds. So here you are at 20, then if you add another 40 seconds, you will end up at 60. So this will be your third point on the graph, because the car moved for the constant speed at 15 meters per second for another 40 seconds. So this here is 40-second length. So let me actually just erase this so that now I can basically draw my graph. So how do I connect these two dots? Through a line, straight line, or a curve? So we are given here, it moves with constant acceleration. That means the gradient of your speed time graph is constant. So how do you get a constant gradient? A straight line has a constant gradient. So this line here between these 2 points will be a straight line. So I can draw a straight line here. Let me make sure I get this right. Actually try it from this side, maybe that will help. Nope. Okay, this is better. So then I will connect it here. So this is my graph between 0 and 20 seconds, a constant acceleration because the gradient is constant until 20 seconds when the car reaches a speed of 15 meters per second. And it then moves at a constant speed of 15 meters per second for 40 seconds. So the speed is constant for the next 40 seconds. So this will be another straight line where the car continues to move at 15 meters per second for another 40 seconds. So let me connect this from this up till this point. So this will be your graph. Constant acceleration for the first 20 seconds and then constant speed for the next 40 seconds. Part B is calculate the acceleration of the car in the first 20 seconds. So your acceleration is equals to change in speed over change in time. So for the first 20 seconds, your change in speed is 0 to 15. So your change in speed is 15. And how much time did it take? It took 20 seconds. So this is 15 over 20. So if you want, you can do the division here. So I'll have to do a decimal here. So 150, 20 times 7 is 140. Get a remainder of 10, add another 0, bring it down. And 20 times 5 is 100. So this is equals to 0.75. So your acceleration is 0.75 meters per second square. So question number 10 is use set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram. So the shaded region is this, which includes both P and R. So that means you have P union R, but P union R will also include this region and this region. So we can see that from the diagram here, this is P union R except the vector, the set Q. So that means P union R and then intersection with Q complement, because you're only taking the region that is outside of this set Q. So you have P union R and then intersection with Q complement, which will eliminate these regions here, which are not shaded. Part B is your universal set is X is a positive number. A is a set where X is between 9 and 10, and B is a set where X is an irrational number. So irrational number means that a number that cannot be represented as a fraction, and usually these are numbers which are not, if you take a square root of a number which does not result in a proper square root. For example, square root of, so 81 is a perfect square, because if I take it square root of 81, I get 9. But if I take square root of 82, 82 is not a perfect square, so the square root is 9 point something, and this number cannot be represented as a fraction. So write down an element of A intersection B. So A intersection B means that X has to be between 9 and 10, and X has to be an irrational number. So X is between 10 and 9. So what we can do here is we can take the squares of these numbers. So what is the square of 9? It is 81. And what is the square of 10? It is 100. So any number, if I take a square root of any number between 81 and 100, it will lie between 9 and 10, and it will also be an irrational number, because 81 is a perfect square, and the next number that is a perfect square is 100. So you can take any number between 81 and 100, and if you take a square root of that, it will be 9 point something something something, and it cannot be represented as a fraction. So you can write basically anything square root of, let's say, 86. So it will be 9 point something, so it will be greater than 9, and it will be less than 10, because square root of 100 is 10. So you will satisfy this condition where X is between 9 and 10, and X is also an irrational number. So square root of 86 or square root of 90. So any square root between square root of any number between 81 and 100 will be a correct answer for this question. Question number 11 is you have to solve these simultaneous equations. So I can straight away see that I have 4y here and 2y here. So if I multiply this by 2 and add the equations, I can eliminate the y variable. So 9x plus 4y equals to minus 5, first equation as it is, and then I will multiply the second equation by 2, so I get 12x minus 4y equals to 12. And then if I add them together, I will get 12 plus 9 is 21x. 4y cancel out. Then I get 12 minus 5 is 7. So x equals to 7 over 21. So x equals to 1 over 3. And then I can substitute the value of x in this first equation, or even second is fine. So let's substitute it in the first one. So I get 9x, so x is 1 over 3, plus 4y equals to minus 5. So 3 times 1, 3 times 3, so you get 3 plus 4y equals to minus 5. 4y will be equal to minus 5, minus 3 will become minus 8, and then y will be equal to minus 2. So x is 1 over 3 and y is minus 2. So question number 12 is write these numbers in order of size starting with the smallest. So you already have all of these in standard form. What you can do is you can first compare the powers of 10. So the numbers with the lowest power of 10 will be the smallest. So you have 10 minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 4. So this is the number with the smallest power of 10. So this will be the smallest, 1.7 into 10 power minus 5. The next smallest power of 10 is minus 4. So this has minus 4, but this has minus 4 as well. So the powers are same. Then we can uh, compare the numbers that are these 4.3 and 3.5. So 3.5 is smaller. So 3.5 into 10 power of minus 4 is the next smallest. And then we can write this one, which is 4.2 into 10 power minus 4. And this is the one with the largest power of 10. So this will be the largest number here. Part B is you're given P and Q. Evaluate the following, giving each answer in standard form. So P minus Q would be equal to 6 into 10 power 10 and then minus 5 into 10 power 9. So to like subtract these numbers, I have to make sure that the powers of 10 are same so that I can uh, take those as common. So I can convert this into so let's convert this 9 into 10 power 10. So this will be 6 into 10 power 10 minus. So if I have to increase this power of 10, I will have to move the decimal one place to the left. So this will become 0.5 into 10 power 10. Now I can take 10 power 10 as common. So this will become equal to 10 power 10 and then 6 minus 0.5. So this will be 5.5 into 10 power 10. So your answer will be 5.5 into 10 power 10. Part 2 is P times Q. So you can do 6 into 10 power 10 multiplied by 5 into 10 power 9. So 6 times 5 here will be 30. And then you will add the powers of 10. You will get 10 power 19. And you have to convert it into standard form. So I'll move the decimal one place to the left. That means I will increase the power by 1. So 3 into 10 power uh, 20 will be your answer. Question 13 is expand and simplify x minus 3 whole square. So you can use the formula a minus b whole square equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square. So you will expand this x square minus 2 times 3 minus 2 times 3 multiplied by x will get 6x, and then plus 3 square would be 9. So x square minus 6x plus 9. Part B is you have to factorize this expression. So I can take 6 common out of these two, and I can take 5x common out of these two values. So let's factorize this. So if I take 6 common, I get 6 into 3 minus y, and then I get plus 5x into y minus 3. So now I have 3 minus y here, but y minus 3 here. So what I can do is I can take the negative sign outside as well. So if I do -6, the signs inside will switch. So this will become plus y and this will become -3. So y minus 3 plus 5x into y minus 3. Now y minus 3 is common, so this will be y minus 3 into plus 5x minus 6. So this will be your answer. Question 14 is write x square minus 7x plus 5 in the form of x minus a whole square minus b. So you have to use the completing square method here. So the first step is to make sure the coefficient of x square is 1. So it is already 1. We don't need to divide this expression with any number. So what in completing square method, what we do is we take the coefficient of x and divide it by 2. So you have -7 as the coefficient of x. So you divide it by 2, you get 7 over 2, and then you take the square. So you add and subtract this value. So x square minus 7x, you add it with 7x, so plus minus 7 by 2 whole square, and then you can add plus 5, and then you can subtract this value, which is minus 7 by 2 whole square. So now this is basically an expansion of a minus b whole square. I can write this as x minus this term here, x minus 7 by 2 whole square. So if you expand this using a square minus 2ab plus b square formula, you will get exactly this expression. And then you have plus 5 minus, if I take the square root, I get 49 over 4. So now I can uh, uh, add these two values so that I have the value of b. So let me continue here. So this will be x minus 7 by 2 whole square plus, so if I take the LCM here, my LCM will be 4, and then I will have uh, to multiply 5 by 4 as well. So I get 20 minus 49 here. So 20 minus 49 will be minus 29. So this will be x minus 7 by 2 whole square minus 29 by 4. So now you can write, this is your final answer, where x minus 7 over 2 whole square minus 29 by 4. So you've written it in this form that you were asked in the question. Part B is hence write down the minimum value of x square minus 7x plus 5. So you have already written it in this form, x minus 7 by 2 whole square minus 29 by 4. So what is the minimum value of this expression? So the minimum value of this expression is when this here is equals to 0, because the minimum value of a square will be 0. So if this inside is 0, 0 squared will get you 0 as well. Remember, you cannot, you might think that if you get a negative value in here, it's less than 0, but if you square that negative value, you will end up with a positive value after you do the square. So the minimum possible value of a square is always 0. So if this is 0, then the value for your expression will be minus 29 by 4, which will be the minimum value of this. Question 15 is write 168 as a product of its prime factors. So let's factorize 168. It's divisible by 2. So 2 times 8, 2 times 4, again divisible by 2. 2 times 4s are 8, and 2 times 2 is 4. Again, you can divide it by 2. You will get 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 1. And then you can divide by 7. You get 3 here, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1. So you can write it as 2 cube multiplied by 7 multiplied by 3. 2 cube multiplied by 7 multiplied by 3. Part B is the highest common factor of 168 and n is 42. Given that n is between 200 and 300, find the two possible values of n. So for 168 and n have the highest common factor 42. That means I can write 168 as a multiple of 42. So 42 times 4 is 168. So 42 times 2 times 2 is 168. And then I can also write n as a multiple of 42 because both 168 and n have the highest common factor as 42. So 42 times multiplied by something will give you n as well. Now you have to find the two possible values of n. So whatever I multiply here, I have to make sure that this number here is not a multiple of 2. Because if it is a multiple of 2, then your HCF will change. Because right now, if your highest common factor is this 42. But if I add a 2 here, let's say if I multiply 42 by, let's say, 6, which is 2 times 3, then your highest common factor is no longer 42. This 2 is also common between the two. So your highest common factor then becomes this 42 times 2, which is 64. So your HCF will change. So let me clear this out. So that means if let me write this again. 42 times 2 times 2 and then 42 times some unknown number. So that means whatever I multiply here, I have to make sure it's not a multiple of 2. Otherwise, my HCF value will change. Highest common factor will change. But we are given that the highest common factor is 42. So 42 times 4 is 168. And we know that n is greater than 168 because it is between 200 and 300. So we are looking at some number greater than 4 that we multiply with 42 to get n. So what are the numbers greater than 4? 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. So let's multiply 42 by 5. So 42 times 5 is what? 5 2s are 10, 1 carry, 5 4s are 20, and 2 10. So 210 is a valid value of n because it is between 200 and 300. And 5 is not a multiple of 2. So if I multiply 42 by 5, my HCF, the highest common factor, is still 42. And it also satisfies the condition that n is between 200 and 300 because n is 210. So your first value is 210. So you multiply it by 5 to get the first value. So what's the next value? The next value is 6. Now, since I showed you already that 6 is 2 times 3 and 6 is a multiple of uh, 2, that will change the HCF. So let's actually do this as well. So let's multiply 42 by 6. 42 times 6 is what? 6 2s are 12, 1 carry, 6 4s are 24, and then 5, 252. 252 is between 200 and 300. So it satisfies this condition. So I multiplied here by 6, which is 2 times 3. So 252 satisfies this condition, but if you look at here, now the highest common factor is 42 times 2, 64. So it violates this condition. 42 is no longer the highest common factor. So you cannot multiply it by 6. This is wrong. So 6 is, I'll move on. I'll skip the value of 6 here. So 42, let me just erase this. So 6 is not possible. Then the next number is 7. 7 is not a multiple of 2. So that is a valid number. I can multiply 42 by 7. 7 2s are 14, 1 carry, 7 4s are 28, 294. So now if I multiply 42 by 7, I get 294, which is valid because it is between 200 and 300. And since 7 is not a multiple of 2, I'll multiply here by 7. Let me write it cleanly. I multiplied here by 7. My highest common factor is still 42 here. So HCF is not changed. So this is a valid value of n as well because it satisfies both the conditions. So these will be your two possible values of n. Question 16 is triangle A and triangle B are drawn on the grid. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B. So your triangle A is mapped onto B, and you can see that straight away that it's a translation because there is no rotation or reflection of this triangle. It's simply moved from this location to this location with the same orientation. So its translation with column vector. So you have to find the column vector. So one mark is for the correctly identifying which type of transformation is this, and the other one is for the column vector. So now you have to find the column vector. So let's take this point here, which is -1 and 2. So -1 and 2 plus the transformation matrix, let's call it xy. And so you know that for translation, you simply take a point and add the translation matrix to get the image. So this is imaged onto this point, which is -4 and 6. So if you add the translation vector to the original point, you will get the image, which is at -4 and 6. So -4, 6. So I can find the value of xy, which is xy would be equal to -4, 6, and this will become minus here, and then -1, 2. So xy would be -4 plus 1, which is -3, and 6 minus 2 will be 4. So this is your column vector, -3, 4, which represents your translation, which maps triangle A onto triangle B. Part B is triangle A is mapped onto triangle C by an enlargement with center 0, 3. So 0, 3. So this is your center of enlargement, and scale factor is -2. On the grid, draw triangle C. So let me call these points P, Q, R, the three vertices of triangle A. So triangle C would be P prime, Q prime, R prime, which are the respective images of these points after the enlargement. So there are two ways to do the enlargement. One method is you can join each point. So let's start with P, join it with the center of enlargement. And since the scale factor is negative and the size, the enlargement factor is 2, you will increase the length by 2. So this is 1, 2, 3. The length of P, let's call this center O. So PO is 3. So P prime O will be 3 times 2, 6. So you continue to draw on the other side. Why? Because there is a negative sign. So in the same direction, you will go 6 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So this will be your point P prime. The other way is to use these column vectors. So let's map that this point R using the column vector method. Uh, so for that, what you do is you consider this your origin. So whatever your center of enlargement is, that will be your origin. So what are the coordinates of R with respect to origin? So I can write R as -1, -1, because you go one direction, one direction, 1 point in negative x direction, and then one distance 1 in negative y direction. So R with respect to O will be -1, -1. And to find R prime, you simply multiply your scale factor, which is -2, with the column vector of R. So you get -1, -1. So this becomes equals to 2, 2. But remember, this 2, 2 is also with respect to the this center O, because your R, this column vector, was with respect to this center O. So you have to go to distance 2 in positive x and distance 2, 2 points in the positive y direction. So if I go positive 2 in x direction, I end up here. And then if I go positive 2 in the y direction, I end up here, from this point, starting from this point, which is the center of enlargement. So this will be your point R prime, R prime. And similarly for Q, what is the column vector of Q? -3, -1. So Q is -3, -1. And then Q prime would be -2 times -3, -1, which will be 6 and 2. So 6 and 2 means if I start here, 6 will be here, and then 2 will be here. So this will be your point Q prime. So this will be your triangle C, after enlargement with vertices 6, 3, 6, 5, and 2, 5. So you can either use this method where you join your point with the center and double the distance. So if this was I was doing it for Q, I will join it like this, measure this length using your ruler, and then double the length on the other side, and you will end up here. So when you double the length, you have to continue this line. So if this line is 2 centimeter, you will draw a line which is extension of this line. Draw a line of 4 centimeter, and you will end up here. So 2 centimeter and 4 centimeter is just an example. You have to measure it using your ruler. So you can either draw these lines and then extend them, or use this column vector method to find this triangle C. But remember, if this scale factor was +2, your image would be on the same side. So if this was again 2 centimeter, you will your point Q prime will be 4 centimeter. So 2 centimeter this, and then another 2 centimeter, you will end up somewhere here at this point. So if this was +2, Q prime would be this one. But since it's negative, we draw on the opposite side of the center of enlargement. So both methods are fine. You can use either one to draw the triangle after enlargement. So question number 17 is, Nima has these 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are circles and 2 are triangles. Each card has a shape on it. She takes 2 cards at random without replacement. Complete the tree diagram. So without replacement means she takes 1 card and then she does not put it back, and then she takes another second card. So when she takes out the first card, the probability of getting a circle is 4 by 6 because you have 4 circles and total of 6 cards. And then probability of getting a triangle would be 2 by 6 because you have 2 triangles and out of 6 cards. So this is your first card. And then after you have picked the first card, then you go on to pick the second card. So if your first card was a circle, that means, let's say you pick this one, your circle, one circle is out of the deck of cards. So then you have to pick the second card. How many circles are remaining? 3. And how many total cards are remaining? 5. So you get 3 by 5. And similarly for triangle, you will have 2 triangles remaining and total will be 5. So this will be 2 by 5. But if now let's continue here. So if you picked your first card and it was a triangle, so that means, let's say you picked this triangle, which is now out of the deck. Now you have to pick the second card. What is the probability of getting a circle? So you have 4 circles and total of 5 cards, so 4 over 5. And what is the probability of getting a triangle? You have only 1 triangle left, so 1 over total cards, which are 5. So that's how you will complete this tree diagram. Part B is find the probability that the shapes on Nima's 2 cards are the same. Give your answer as a fraction. So how do I end up with 2 cards? How does Nima end up with 2 cards which have the same shape? If that means if I get both circles or if I get both triangles. So this probability will be, so probability of 2 cards are same equals to probability of getting circle and circle, or which will be plus probability of getting triangle, 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 triangle. So you get either circle, circle, or you get triangle, triangle. Since it's an or, you add the two. So what is the probability of getting a circle and then a circle? So circle and then a circle. So it is 4 by 6 times 3 by 5. So circle and circle will be 4 by 6 times 3 by 5 plus probability of getting a triangle and then a triangle in the second as well. So triangle, let me mark this in green. So triangle and then triangle. That is 2 by 6 times 1 by 5. So 4 threes are 12 over 30 plus 2 over 30, which is 14 over 30. So the probability that Nima's two cards are the same shape is 14 over 30. Question number 18 is R is given as this. Find R when P equals to -2. So you simply have to substitute the value of P in this equation. So R will be 4 times P, which is -2, plus 2 divided by 3. So this will be 3 minus -2. So 4 times -2 will be -8 plus 2 divided by 3. Minus will become positive. So 3 plus 2. So -8 plus 2 will be -6 over 5. So R will be -6 over 5. Rearrange the formula to make P the subject. So I will cross multiply here. So this will become R times, let me start from the top here so I have enough space. So this will be R times 3 minus P equals to 4P plus 2. So if I multiply here, I get 3R minus 3P is equals to, oh no, in fact this is wrong. I will get 3R minus PR equals to 4P plus 2. Now I will bring all the terms that involve P on one side and the rest of the terms on the other side. So let's bring this here. So this becomes minus PR minus 4P, and let's take this to the other side. So this becomes 2 minus 3R. So if I take P common here, so I get P common minus R minus 4 equals to 2 minus 3R. And then I can divide this on the other side. I will get P equals to 2 minus 3R, 2 minus 3R over minus R minus 4. So now this is P is the subject of this equation. So P will be 2 minus 3R over minus R minus 4. And I think in the marking scheme, it's given as 3R minus 2 over 4 plus R, which is equivalent because if you multiply by -1 and -1 both on the numerator and the denominator, you will get the exact same expression as in the marking scheme, which is 3R minus 2 over 4 plus R. So both answers are fine. Question number 19 is y is inversely proportional to the square of x when x equals to 4, y equals to 10. So it's inversely proportional to the square of x. So y is inversely proportional to the square of x. So this gives you y equals to k over x square, where k is a constant. So you're given when x equals to 4, y is 10. So y is 10 when x is 4 squared. So k is basically 4 squared times 10. So 4 squared is 16. 16 times 10 is 160. So now you have to find the value of y when x equals to 10. So y equals to 160 over x squared, which is 10 in this case. So 160 over 100, which is 2 decimals. I'll move it 2 to the left. I get 1.6. So your y is 1.6. So describe the effect on y when x is halved. So y is what? 160 over x squared. 160 over x squared. So what happens when x is halved? So let's see what happens. 160 over, what do I get? X is halved, so this becomes x over 2 squared. So I get 160 over x squared multiplied by 4. So this was 160 over x squared, and this is 160 over x squared multiplied by 4. So when x is halved, y is multiplied by 4. So the next question is you have to simplify this expression that is given. So to convert this negative power to a positive one, I can take the reciprocal inside. So I can bring this to the numerator and bring this down to the denominator. So I get x power 5, y power 9 over 9x power 7 multiplied by y, and then whole power 1 by 2. Now I can cancel this x power 5, and this will become x squared, because 7 minus 5 is 2. And then I can cancel this y out, and I will get y power 8 in the numerator. So now I am left with y power 8 over 9x squared, and then whole power 1 by 2. So now if I bring this 1 by 2 inside, I will multiply this 1 by 2 with this power 8 here. So I get 8 over 2, which is power 4. So y power 4. And then I know that square root of 9 is 3. And then square root of x squared would be x. So this would be y power 4 over 3x. Question number 21 is a cuboid has a square base. The length of the base is y centimeters and the height is twice the length of its base. And you're given the total surface area, which is 360 centimeters square. So let me quickly draw this cuboid here. So if you have something like this, so your length of your base is y, and it is a square, so all four sides will be y. And the height here is twice the length of its base, so this will be 2y. So now we can compute the surface area and equate it to 360 to find the value of y. So surface area is, so let's start with the base and the top. So base has side y and y, so the surface area of the base will be y squared. And since there are two such sides, the bottom and the top, I'll multiply it by 2 to get 2y squared. Plus, let's look at the front and the back. One side is y and this other side of the front is 2y. And the back is also the same. So this will be 2 times 2y times y. 2y times y. So this will be the front and the back, plus this right side and this left side here. This is also 2y and y, and then again there are two such sides, so this will also be equal to 2y into y and then times 2 outside. And we know that surface area is 360, so this is 360 equals to 2y squared plus this will become 4y squared plus this will also become 4y squared. So this will be 360 equals to 10y squared, and y square will equal 36, and then y will be 6. Now y is the base here, 6 and 6. You have to find the height of the cuboid. Height is 2 times y. So height h will be 2y, which is 2 into 6 equals to 12. So height is 12 centimeter. Question 22 is you're given a pattern in a sequence. Your first three patterns in a sequence made using dots and lines. So your pattern number 1 has 3 dots and 2 lines. Pattern 2 has 6 dots and 7 lines. So you have to complete the table for the first 5 patterns in the sequence. So for pattern number 3, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dots. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 lines. So if you look at this sequence, each next pattern, so you add 3 to get the number of dots. So 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. So you get 9 plus 3, 12, and then 12 plus 3, 15. And for the dots, for the lines, you are adding 5 here. So this is plus 5, 2 plus 5, 7, 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 5 would be 17, and then 17 plus 5 would be 22. Part B is find an expression in terms of n for the number of lines in pattern n. So let's represent this number of lines in a pattern by t. So t1 will be the first pattern. So how many lines are there? 2. T2 is what? 2 plus 5. So each time you add another 5. So T3, which is the number of lines in the third pattern, is 2 plus 5, and then you add another 5. and t4 would be 2 plus 5 plus 5, and then you add another 5. So Tn, you can write it 2 plus, because everything starts with 2, plus how many times do you add 5? So for the third term, you are adding 5 twice. For the fourth term, you're adding 5 3 times. So for the nth term, you will add 5 n minus 1 times. So n minus 1 into 5. Because for the fourth term, there are 3 5s here. For the third term, there are 2 5s here. So this will be 2 plus 5n minus 5. And let me continue it here. So this will be 5n, 2 minus 5 would be minus 3. So this expression is 5n minus 3. Part C is Anwar makes one of these patterns using 92 lines. Find the number of dots in Anwar's pattern. So first we need to find the number of, first we need to find the pattern number. So we can use this expression here. And we know there are 92 lines. So 92. So now if I find n, I can get the pattern number that Anwar is making here. So this is 5n equals to 95, and n equals to 5 times 1 is 5 for 45, and then 19. So n is 19, right? So this is the 19th pattern. Now you have to find the number of dots in the 19th pattern. Dots in 19th pattern. That's what you're looking for. So if you look at this number of dots, you are actually, these are all multiples of 3. So dots in nth pattern is basically equals to 3n. So if you substitute n equals to 1, you get 3. N equals to 2, 3 times 2 is 6. If you substitute n equals to 3, you get the number of dots in the third pattern, which is 9. So you're looking for dots in the 19th pattern. So that will be equals to 3 times 19, which is 9 3s are 27, 2 carry, 3 1s are 3, 4, 5. So 57. So the number of dots in this pattern will be 57. So question number 23 is the diagram shows two circles with center O. The radius of small circle is 3 and the radius of large circle is 6. So this radius here is 3 and the radius for the larger circle is 6. And the angle AOB for the minor sector is this 60 degrees. The total area of the shaded region is k pi centimeter square. Find the value of k. So now to find the value of k, I can calculate the area of the shaded region and then equate it to k pi. Then I can find the value of k. So how will I find the area of the shaded region here? What I can do is I can find the area of this region here, which is basically the area between the difference of areas between the larger circle and the smaller circle. So if I take the area of the larger circle and I subtract the area of the smaller circle, I will get this area marked in blue. Then what I need to do is I need to subtract this area represented by this boundary I am drawing in red. If I subtract this red out of it, I will get the shaded region. That is, I'll get this ring here, which is shaded, and then I can find the area of this green small sector as well, and then add them together to get the total area of the shaded region. So let's find the area of I can call this the ring between basically call this the ring here, area of the ring, or we can call it difference between large and small circle. So this large circle has radius 6, so that will be pi 6 squared minus pi 3 squared, which is 36 pi minus 9 pi, which is 27 pi. So this is this a 27 pi is the area that I've marked here in these blue lines. Now I have to find the area of this red sector here. Area of, let's call this R. Area, let me erase this. Area of region R, which is this region basically, the one in red here. So the area of region R will be, let me actually, of region R will be total area of this large sector minus the area of the small sector. So that will be 60 by 360 into pi larger radius 6 squared minus 60 by 360 into pi into 3 squared. So this will give me this area that is bounded by this red region. So I'm taking the area of this large sector and subtracting the area of this small sector. So this will give me 1 by 6, 60, 1 by 6, and then 1 by 6. I can take 1 by 6 pi common, 1 by 6 pi, and then 6 squared minus 3 squared, which is 36 minus 9, which is 27 over 6 pi, which is, if I divide by 3, I'll get 9 by 2 pi. And then let's call this green region G. So area of region G would be simply 60 by 360 degrees multiplied by pi r squared. R is 3. Pi into 3 squared. So this will be again 1 over 6. So 1 over 6 into 9 pi, which will be equal to 3 by 2 pi. Now area of shaded region will be equal to this area here minus this area, which is this red region here, and then adding the smaller shaded region here. So this is 27 pi minus this region, which is minus 9 over, so this is minus 9 over 2 pi, and then plus this 3 over 2 pi. And now we're given that this total area of the shaded region is k pi. So let me continue here. So k pi will be equal to this. I can take pi common outside. So this will be 27 minus 9 by 2 plus 3 by 2. So pi and pi cancel out. So I get k equals to 27 minus 4.5 plus 1.5. So this is k equals to 27 minus, so minus 4.5 plus 1.5 will be minus 3.5 and minus 3. So this is equals to 24. So your value of k is 24. Question 24 is A, B, C are points on the circle with center O, and AB is equals to BC. P is the midpoint of chord AB and Q is the midpoint of chord BC. Prove that triangle OAP, so OAP is this, and triangle OCQ are congruent. So this triangle OAP is this one. And then the other one is OCQ. So OCQ is this one here. So we have to prove that these two are congruent. So let's see. So since Q and P are both midpoints of the chords, that means that the angle that they make from the line that is coming from the center will be 90 degrees. So this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees as well. And if you look at length OA and length OC, they are equal because both are radius of the circle. So these two lengths are equal. And then we can also see that length AP and length CQ will be equal as well, because both are these chords. We are told that AB and BC are equal in length. So if this is the midpoint of this chord, so length CQ will be equal to this midpoint length, mid length, half length, you can say, length AP. So basically both length BC and AB are equal, so half of their lengths will be equal as well. So we can use the RHS property. So to prove that this RHS test, basically to prove that these two triangles are congruent. So let's start with OA and OC. So OA equals to OC because both are a 1 second. Both are radii of the circle. So this is true. Then this angle APO equals to angle OQC or CQO, angle CQO equals to 90 degrees. So both angles are 90 degree because line from center of circle to midpoint of a chord. And then this length CQ and PA. CQ equals to PA because they are midpoints of equal chords. We are given that these chords AB and BC are equal, so equal chords. So we can use the RHS property where we have hypotenuse of both triangles and one other side. So this side are equal as well. So using RHS, triangle OAP and triangle OCQ are congruent. Uh, so RHS rule basically states that for a right angled triangle, so we know both are right angled triangle, if we have hypotenuse and one other side, any of the one of the other side, so we have this side equal. So we have hypotenuse equal and one other side equal for a two right angled triangles, so then they are congruent. Part B is given that obtuse angle COA equals to 140 degree. Find the angle QCO. So let me actually erase all of this. So we're given that this angle here is 140 degree and we have to calculate angle QCO. QCO will be this angle that we need to calculate. So now if you look at the triangles, this OCB and triangle OAB, they are congruent as well. We can quickly use the SSS rule. All three sides are equal. So they have this side common, right? So this side is equal. This side, so this side, these two sides are equal. And then these two sides are equal because both are radius. And then this whole length AB is same as this whole length uh, CB or BC because they are given in the question that both chords are equal. So all three sides are equal of both triangles. So they are congruent. That means this angle here and this angle here are equal as well. So let's call them X. So we can find X, then we can find this angle QCO as well. QCO. So let's first find X. So X is X plus 140 equals to 360. So 2x is 360 minus 140, which is 220, and x is 110. So now we know that this is 110, and we also know that this side here, OC, and this side here, OB, are equal because they are radius. So triangle OCB is an isosceles triangle. So this is angle QCO. This angle here, if this is Y, this is Y as well, right? Because these are two radiuses, and the angles would be same. So this is an isosceles triangle. So triangle OCB is an isosceles triangle. So we can write at X plus QCO plus QCO as well, because both these angles are equals to 180, sum of the interior angles of a triangle. And we know that X is 110. So 110 plus 2 times QCO will be 180. 2 times QCO will be 70 if I bring this 110 to the other side, and then QCO, angle QCO will be 70 over 2, which is 35 degrees. So angle QCO is 35 degrees. Question number 25 is you're given matrices P and Q. Evaluate P times Q. So P has two rows and it has two columns, so it's a 2 by 2 matrix. And similarly, Q also has two rows and two columns, so both are 2 by 2. So we know that the column of the first matrix is equal to the rows of the first matrix, so you can multiply these two. And if you cancel them, what do you get? 2 by 2. So your answer will also be a 2 by 2 matrix. So PQ would be, so let's start with the first row here. So this is the first row, and this will be multiplied by the first column. So 4 times 1 and 0 times 0. 4 times 1 plus 0 times 0. And then similarly, we will multiply it with the second row as well. So 4 times 2 and 0 times minus 1. 4 times 2 plus 0 times minus 1. And then if we continue to the second row, so this row here will be multiplied by this column here. So minus 2 times 1, minus 2 times 1, 3 times plus 3 times 0. And then you will multiply this row with this column as well. So first element of the row multiplied by the first element of the column, minus 2 times 2 plus 3 times minus 1, 3 times minus 1. So 4 times, this was 4 times 1. Let me write it neatly. 4 times 1. So 4 times 1 is 4. So you get 4 here. 4 times 2 is 0 times 0 is 0. So this remains 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 0. So this is 8. This will be minus 2 times minus 2 plus 3 times 0 is 0. So this will be minus 2. This is minus 4 plus minus 3. 3 times minus 1 will be minus 3. So this will become minus 4 minus 3, which is minus 7. So this will be your answer. 4, 8, minus 2, and minus 7. The determinant of matrix M is minus 4. Find the value of K. So you know that determinant is these two values multiplied and then minus these two values. So your determinant is 3K minus 2 times minus 1, and you're given that determinant is minus 4. So 3K plus 2 equals to minus 4. And then 3K equals to, if I bring this 2 to the other side, this becomes minus 6. And then K will be equals to minus 6 divided by 3 here. So this will become minus 2. So this is minus 2. Find M inverse. So M inverse will be 1 over determinant of M, 1 over determinant of M multiplied by adjugate of M. So you know that determinant of M is minus 4, so this becomes minus 1 by 4. And then multiplying by adjugate of M, what do you do? To get adjugate, you swap these two values here. Let me mark them. So you will swap 3 and K. So k will take the place of 3, and we know that k is what? Minus 2. So this will be minus 2, and this will become 3. And then you basically flip the signs of these values. So this will give you minus 1 will become positive 1, and 2 will become negative 2. Negative 2. So this will be your M inverse. So if you want, you can bring this minus 1 by 4 inside as well. So this will be minus 1 by 4 times minus 2 would be 1 by 2. This will be minus 1 by 4. And this will be again 1 by 2. And this will be minus 3 by 4. So your answer would be 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4, 1 over 2 minus 3 over 4. So this will be your value of M inverse. So this is the end of May-June 2019, paper 1 and variant 2.